Hi guys, today I'm back to talk about the ball tip, and specifically this is a rolling ball tip. I got this tip right before I went on a trip, and I got to experiment with a whole bunch of different surfaces with this tip, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. So I'm going to bring it up to the camera, and you might be able to see it is slightly worn down, and I used this for about 3 weeks. And I did walk a lot, and I used it sweeping a lot, so it probably did a lot of miles, but it still did get worn down. This specific one is from Ambutech. It is the ultra-high molecular weight material version, so it is slightly more expensive, but it is supposed to last a bit longer. And so basically, the bottom half of the tip is the ultra-high molecular weight material, and it's kind of, it was rough to start with already. It's a little bit, feels like nylon a little bit. But the top is pretty smooth, and I'm honestly not sure what material it is. And this one is a hook tip, so I'll pull it out for you there. And I use it with my threaded aluminum folding cane. This is a very heavy tip, and so I would only recommend it with an aluminum cane, or a straight cane. But definitely this with the telescoping, or even the two-piece telescoping, I think it would snap those kinds of canes. So this is my standard cane, and it worked real well. And also, you might be able to tell, I got this one a little bit different. The stem is blue. So in case you're curious, if you order a blue stem, this is what you will get. As far as surfaces that the tip could go over, it went over a lot. It went over cobblestones, gravel, which was something that my jumbo roller couldn't do. It went over cracks. It never stopped and kind of ran into me. It was a very good tip. It went over everything. I think only once or twice it got stuck, so it got stuck in a hole in the sidewalk, but that was a legitimate hole, not just a big crack, and sand. That is the one thing that this cane tip cannot do. It cannot do sand. It gets stuck, just like the jumbo roller gets stuck in gravel, and sand actually. This tip just didn't want to move forward in sand, so it didn't work very well. What I managed to do was kind of lift a little bit when I was using it, so that it was more skimming the sand versus rolling with its weight completely on the sand like I usually use my tip. And so there it did work. But otherwise, this tip also did grass and kind of did rocky surfaces. So kind of an outdoor place with rocks on the ground. And at the end of this video, I'm going to post some clips. I took some videos of the tip going over some of these surfaces. And even if you cannot see the tip itself, which even I have trouble seeing it on these clips, you can at least see the ground moving underneath, and so you can tell that this tip is moving forward without giving me any trouble or getting stuck. So I was really impressed with its performance, and I was really happy with it. So I would definitely recommend it if you're needing a trip tip, like I needed, and if you live in a place that's more rural. I think this tip did really, really well. The one thing I would say about this tip, though, is that it's loud and it's very vibrating. So when I first started using this tip, my hand, when I took it off, when I stopped using it, it felt like I had been shaking it for the past 10 minutes. That is how much this tip vibrates. And I don't think it's just because of the surfaces I was using. Even when I was using it on relatively smooth concrete that I used my jumbo roller with, this tip was really vibrating very much. And same thing for the noise. When I was using it, even on somewhat smooth surfaces, this tip was really loud, and personally, I can deal with it, but I would have preferred a quieter tip, just because when you're walking in a quiet neighborhood or something, maybe you just want to relax, and this tip doesn't make it very easy to relax. It's very, very loud. At the same time, when you hit something, it does make a pretty loud sound, so that way you have the audio feedback. Now, also because of the extreme vibration of this tip, you don't get as much tactile feedback, in my opinion. So when I use a smaller tip like my jumbo roller, I can really almost feel the individual grains on the concrete, or anything like that. And with this tip, you lose most of that individual feeling. Now, the individual feeling of the individual grains on the cement, that's not very important. So that's really just a personal preference. If you prefer not to have to feel any of those things, then maybe this is the tip for you. So my overall assessment of this tip is it works really great over a lot of surfaces. It was a great option to go on a trip where I'd be on all kinds of surfaces with. But at the same time, I don't need this tip on a daily basis, so I'm not going to use it, and I don't think it's more convenient to just have it on all the time. I'd rather have a smaller tip that I can maybe enjoy the use of more. Now I'm going to play the reel of this tip going over some surfaces. Any more questions about different kinds of cane tips, you can check out another video I made about all the different cane tips out there. And I also wrote a blog article about this, as well as a couple other articles on my blog at www.easiervision.wordpress.com. You can email me at easiervision@gmail.com. And thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.